Is Windows holding handhelds back? Whenever there are performance issues, people are quick to recommend Bazzite. It seems as if Bazzite solves a lot of the issues people have with Windows. Now, that's not to say Windows is bad, but it's an operating system that was designed for desktop PCs first, rather than gaming handhelds. That being said, Microsoft have made improvements using Xbox mode, but is it enough? Everything from browsing your library to launching games is built entirely around controller input. And that right there, that fixes the main clunkiness of navigating Windows on a handheld. But it's not completely invisible underneath. At its core, this is still a full desktop PC, meaning Windows is constantly running a lot of bloat in the background, which could be chewing through your RAM and affecting the consistency of your performances. That's exactly why people are jumping ship to Bazzite. The first thing you notice is how focused it feels. Booting up drops you straight into gaming mode, aka Steam's big picture mode. The difference is immediate. While Windows uses a launcher to hide its desktop, Bazzite is built entirely around Steam's gaming mode. There's no extra layers. Every menu, transition, and controller input is designed around a single idea, that this OS is built for gaming primarily. I guess Windows just feels like a computer wearing a console mask. Bazzite actually feels like a console from the ground up. In fact, one of my favorite features of Bazzite or SteamOS is the sleep and awake function. I can put my device to sleep and later on resume right where I left off without any hiccups. I had my Legion Go 2 asleep for just under 10 hours and the battery had only depleted by 4%. But if you try doing this on Windows, it's not really reliable. You end up dealing with either a crashed game or frozen screen. Speaking of games, I did run some benchmarks and there were times there was a significant difference, other times there was hardly any difference, but Bazzite still had that slight edge with smoother gameplay. All my games are run at 1200p, high settings, FSR on balance, no frame gen, and 20 watts aka performance mode. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like running games at lower settings or lower than 1080p. My mindset is this: if you've paid over 1k for a handheld, you should be able to run games at medium to high settings and close to native resolution as possible. You should have no problems running games on the lower settings or lower resolution. Yes, there will be exceptions as some games are much more demanding and heavier. I don't think I'm ever going to run games at 800p or the lower settings. Call me stubborn, but don't care. So is Windows the problem? Well, the thing is, Windows still has its big advantages. If you use Game Pass, play games with anti-cheat, or just want the flexibility of a desktop, it's still the easier option. You don't really have to think about compatibility. Everything is right there. On the other hand, if you're mainly buying a handheld to play games, I think Bazzite offers the better overall experience. The console-style interface feels much more at home, and in day-to-day use, it just feels more focused on gaming. However, Bazzite is not perfect. If you've never used Linux before, there can be a bit of a learning curve. It's nothing major, but some things require digging up, whilst with Windows, most people know how to make their way around. And after spending time with both, the biggest difference for me wasn't actually performance. It was how each operating system felt to use. Bazzite made me pick up my Legion Go 2 and jump straight into gaming. Whilst with Windows, there's no escaping that it's a small PC, which can be a positive or a negative. I don't really think there's a clear winner here. Both are made with different priorities in mind. If your goal is to get the best handheld experience, I would recommend Bazzite. But the operating system that can handle gaming, productivity, and everything else, Windows is still the difficult OS to beat. I hope this video has helped in some way, shape or form. I know I've been off for a very long time, but I'm back and I'm going to be consistent. So yeah, let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer, Windows or Bazzite? Thank you for watching and I'll see you all next time.